Hey everyone, this is the Millionaire Hippies podcast with your host, Boom Shikha, where we chat about spirituality, business, and health. We all want to live self-actualizing, fulfilling lives with joy, prosperity, and gratitude. Let's go on this beautiful journey together.
Hey guys, welcome to another podcast episode. My name is Boom Shikha, and I welcome you to the Millionaire Hippie podcast. In today's podcast episode, I wanted to speak to you guys about something that's really close to my heart, something that I practice on almost a daily basis, something that has really helped me navigate the circumstances of my life, and that something is dream analysis and dream work. Now, a lot of you might be thinking that that might be a waste of time, but I want to remind you of the fact that our subconscious, the unconscious, takes up about 90 to 95% of our consciousness. Our thinking mind, what we think of our consciousness, is actually perhaps only 5 to 10% of our actual consciousness. A lot of the stuff that's happening in our consciousness is happening under the surface. It's happening in the unconscious. It's happening in the subconscious. And a lot of times we're unaware of it because we have no way of communicating with our subconscious truly, if you think about it. A lot of times when we're journaling, some stuff might come up, and if we're meditating, some stuff might come up. But I believe the best way and the truest way to communicate with our subconscious is through dream analysis. And I wanted to share with you what I do every single day on a daily basis so that I can analyze my dreams, figure out what my dreams are trying to tell me, what my subconscious is actually thinking, and then how I use that in my daily life. So whenever I wake up in the morning, as I've said before, in my morning routine, I have a stint of journaling. So I do a bit of journaling as soon as I wake up. Perhaps I'll actually sit for a couple of minutes and just sit and think about what I dreamt of. A lot of times people tell me that they don't actually remember what they dreamt, or a lot of times people will say that they don't actually dream. Of course, the second part is the latter is wrong. Everyone dreams. Everyone on this planet dreams. Unfortunately, not a lot of people remember their dreams. And a lot of times people remember their dreams for a few minutes or a few seconds and then it dissipates. My strategy is to sit down right away as soon as I wake up, as soon as I feel like I'm waking up, and try to remember what my dreams were. In that moment when we are in between half awake, half sleepy, that is a point where we can remember our dreams truly. A lot of times after that point, even a few seconds after it, you'll have forgotten all of your dreams. So you have to capture your dreams right away. And so I do that. I sit down as soon as I wake up and I think about, okay, what did I dream about? What was exactly going on in my dreams? And what were the moments in my dreams that really stood out for me? Because in every single dream that I've had, there are some moments that are just all right, but then there's some moments that really, really stand out for me. There are some moments where I sit up and take notice. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what's going on here? Why is this so important to me? So then those are the moments that I really, really start paying attention to, and I start thinking about when I'm doing that sitting down meditation of sorts. And then I do my journaling, and in my journaling, I'll write down what my dream was about, what are the things that I do remember from my dream, because I usually don't remember all of my dreams, nor do I remember my complete dreams. I'll only remember moments of them. I'll write them down, and then I'll think about how that dream relates to what's going on in my life, and I'll think about how that dream, or what that dream is exactly trying to tell me. And that is a really, really enhancing experience for me because a lot of times I'll get insights from my dreams that I did not get from my meditation session or from my journaling or from daily life. And then I'm able to analyze it and then I'm able to use it in my daily life to become again a complete human being. I'll give you an example from a couple of days ago. A couple of days ago, I woke up and I had this really intense dream about a friend. And that friend of mine has MS and he's dealing with a lot of issues with it. He's obviously on disability and he's very close to me. He's a very good friend of mine. And I always feel for him that he's going through such a trauma, such an ordeal. In my dream, though, he was really, really happy. He was ecstatic. He was enthusiastic. He felt a lot of positivity and optimism in the dream, and he had a lot of energy in the dream, which is not true in the real life right now. He's in a bit of a funk right now. But in my dream, he was really happy, he was gung-ho, and he was getting to a point where he was recovering and feeling better about his life and about everything in his life, right? I woke up and that feeling where he was so joyous and happy stuck with me, and I felt so good about it because in the past few days I've been feeling bad about what he's going through. And I felt like the dream was trying to tell me that it is just a phase in his life and he's going to get better and it's going to turn around and he's going to get to a point where he was last year, where he was very positive, very optimistic about his life and his disease and where he was going in life. That dream really helped me feel so good about everything that was going on. And I was able to use that dream as a sort of premonition. It might be, it might not be, but in my mind, in my dream, it made me feel so good. It made me feel hope again for my friend. And I did tell him about it, and he was able to use that again as a source of hope for himself, which is great. This is what all we want, is to bring hope to other people, to be optimistic about life, to have hope for ourselves, and to keep on going on the path that we've chosen for ourselves. A lot of times, a lot of despair and discouragement happens in our life. And so dreams can actually be a source of joy and positivity and sometimes a bit of silliness, which we might be missing in our real life. So I was able to use that dream in a great way. The same thing happens to me every single day. Now that I'm paying more attention to my dreams, they're more vivid and there's more of them. And this is something that I've noticed. Those days when I'm really, really distracted and I don't pay attention to what's going on, I don't remember what my dreams are, I don't pay attention to what I do remember about my dreams, I find that they start fading. My dreams start fading and they're not as vivid anymore. But the more attention I pay to my dreams, the more vivid they get and the stronger they become and the more movie-like they become. So a lot of times when I'm paying a lot of attention to my dreams and I'm doing a lot of dream analysis and dream work, I find that my dreams almost become like movies that I watch at nighttime. Who needs entertainment during the day when I have all these amazing movies that I watch every night? Literally, I can sleep and I can watch 2 or 3 movies, an hour and a half, 2 hours long each, and I can use those dreams in order to enhance my life. What better way to live a life than to optimize our dreams? And that's what I want you guys to do as well, to use your dreams in order to become whole, complete human beings. So that we don't ignore what's going on in our subconscious, but we use it to enhance our lives. We use them to figure out what's going on in my subconscious. A lot of times our subconscious speaks to us in the matter of shadows or triggers that happen and they just leave us breathless. They leave us really astounded. I don't want that to happen with me. I want to be aware of what's going on in my subconscious. And I can be aware of what's going on in my subconscious by analyzing my dreams. A lot of the dreams that I have, though, are sometimes meaningless in the moment. And you'll notice that a lot of dreams will seem like they were just random movies that were playing in your head based on what happened during the day, what happened during the mornings, what happened during the night, or what movie you watched, or what book you read, whatever it might be. But then a couple of days later, you will be able to look at it again, and realize, oh my God, that's what my dream was trying to tell me. And you'll be able to use it again to enhance your life, to become complete human beings. So do not think that any dream is wasted, and do not think of any moment where you're analyzing a dream as a waste at all, because it is really, really useful. I have found it to be one of the most useful things I do in my daily life, as opposed to doing my meditation session, which is a completely different way of looking at my subconscious. I find dream work to be a really interesting and silly and fun way to look at my subconscious. And because it's so fun and silly, I don't have all of these barriers that I erect within myself, preventing myself from going deeper. I hope that you see what I'm saying. Because a lot of times our subconscious doesn't actually want to be seen. That's the reason we've buried that stuff underneath, right? That's the reason we push it away, is because we don't want to deal with that stuff. So a lot of times when we start poking around in the subconscious, we have all these shackles that rise up. And we are unable to look deeper within ourselves because of those shackles. But when you do dream work, a lot of that stuff is just movie-like. It's just fun. Why would it matter anyways? It's so much fun to look at it. So there are no shackles that rise up. You're not able to deal with all of these things that might have risen up if you were just dealing with it directly. And that's a great way to look at it. The last thing I wanted to say about dream work is that the more you dream, the more you realize how powerful your subconscious and your unconscious really is. There is so much stuff going on below the surface that you had no idea was happening. A lot of times I think that I've analyzed and I've dealt with a certain part of my life, and then my subconscious will start perking up again and start talking to me in the form of dreams. And then I'll realize, oh man, I haven't dealt with the stuff that I thought I dealt with. A lot of times I've decided, okay, I've dealt with that relationship, I'm done with it, I've gotten over that person, I have closure, that's good, yay, yay, yay. And then I have a dream about that person and I wake up in a sweat and I realize, oh my god, I'm still in love with that person, I'm still dealing with that stuff. I haven't gotten over it as I thought I had. So that's really, really, really interesting to me because it helps us realize that we're actually like children playing with our conscious mind. When we actually want to become adults, when we become whole human beings, we have to start dealing with our subconscious and our dreams. That is where the true gems are. As they say, the gold is in the dark, and I would also say the gold is in the dreams. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions at all, you can message me or email me at boomshika@themillionairehippie.com, or you can join my Facebook group, The Millionaire Hippie Club. I'll talk to you guys next time around. Bye for now.